What up, Dragon Ballers? This is going to be my episode review for Dragon Ball Daima episode number 15 called Third Eye. And once again, I can safely tell you, this episode slaps. A lot of action, and we are moving in the right direction. We further the story, not a whole lot, but just enough in a good way. This was an action-packed episode with some really good beats. So if you guys have been enjoying the series so far, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be doing reviews for the rest of the series, which it looks like, according to Hulu, I think people were saying, the episodes are going to be ending on 20. So we've got basically 5 episodes left. And obviously full spoilers ahead. Without further ado, let's jump in. So the episode picks up right as the last episode had ended, as the group is being attacked in an all-out assault by Goma's forces. And Goku and crew have to find some cover. After finding some covers from some nearby boulders, Pansy and Glorio even return fire while Goku begins to try to parry some of the blasts that are being shot at them. He is unfortunately hit by one of them and is temporarily incapacitated. So this is basically just to set the tone that these weapons that they're blasting are pretty serious and they can do some damage. Obviously, it's not going to kill Goku, but it is going to temporarily incapacitate him because I guess Goku is in a kid's body, so he can't handle it. Even though they can go Super Saiyan 3, they apparently can't handle these stun rays, but whatever. Later, Vegeta also retaliates and is also hit by the same stun and is momentarily downed. While down, Vegeta asks for the revive bug. For a second, a split second, I thought that maybe he was going to ask for a bug and then maybe Goku was going to suggest the fusion bug, but it was just a revive bug, so Vegeta's health comes back and he is able to continue attacking and fighting back. Meanwhile, Goma is watching the action through surveillance and sees all of the heroes fighting back. He takes a look at all of them up close, and then he comes across Hybis, where he takes exception to his belt. Goma confirms that is indeed the third eye, the legendary Tertian Oculus that they had alluded to at the beginning of the series when they were talking about planning out these wishes and all of that. Goma reveals that Abura, the previous king before Dabura, used to wear it on his forehead. Goma then commands Degesu to go and retrieve the belt at all costs without anyone noticing. We then quickly get a little cut in from the narrator, who begins to explain what the third eye is. It grants the beholder power and authority and possesses terrifying magical power. We see a shot of someone wearing the eye like a silhouette, and then he transforms. So I honestly hope that Goma gets to do that at some point, which he probably will. Back during King Abura's reign, the third eye was stolen and thus lost in time. We then see a flashback of Dabura, the very same Dabura who was alongside Babidi and Z, plotting with one of his minions to steal the third eye from Abura. He instructs him to take it to the third demon world. As the minion zooms off in a plane after retrieving the third eye, he is able to escape into the second and then the third demon world very easily through that empty tunnel. So back then, there was no light barrier blocking travel between the various worlds. So you could see how easily he was able to escape. When he is able to escape to the third world and he is sitting down after exiting the plane, one of those barbarian creatures from early on in the series attacks him and knocks him out, leaving the third eye somewhere on the ground. Dabura's intention was to merely remove it from Abura's possession. I guess he never really actually wanted to use it. Without the power of the third eye, Dabura was able to easily take the throne from his father, and we all know what happened to our boy after that. The throne was then passed down to Vice Demon King Goma. Sometime later, Hybis happened to find it lying on the ground somewhere and shoved it into his belt. We then switch back to Goku and crew, who once again continue their advance towards the castle, and they are once again attacked and are forced to take cover. Meanwhile, Hybis is just sitting down playing with some rocks, while a pretty girl walks towards him and comments on his cool belt. And I'm just going to chime in and say right here, she looks like a chibi version of Toa. The resemblance is uncanny. This is very obviously a Degesu ploy to retrieve the eye. The girl offers to kiss Hybis in exchange for the belt, to which Hybis immediately shuts her down and then retorts with a counteroffer. He suggests to trade her hat for the belt. The girl is dumbfounded, as we all are, and accepts, feeling a bit insulted that her looks alone couldn't close the deal. We then switch to Arinsu, who is staring at her Dragon Ball while in her office. The Majin brothers are sleeping nearby while all of the action occurs outside. Arinsu then comments that everything is going according to plan. Now, back to the action. Goku and Vegeta and Piccolo go on the attack and take out more soldiers. Then something big smashes onto the scene. Some giant tanks. They fire these large electrical balls that upon landing send out a shockwave, basically an AoE that renders anyone within the vicinity incapacitated. Once again, our heroes are hit by one of these blasts and all of them are momentarily stunned. Right as this happens and the front tank is about to shoot again, a grenade falls from the sky and seemingly takes out the tank. When I saw this, I was thinking to myself, wait a second, is that Pansy? Because Pansy used these types of grenades early on in the series. Suddenly more grenades drop and take out nearby tanks. We see it's King Kadan who has arrived with his reinforcements, which was honestly a very hype moment to see. After taking out a few tanks, Kadan's plane is unfortunately shot down. For a moment, there's a little suspense where we're led to believe that maybe Kadan might have been hurt during all of that, but we find out soon after nobody was harmed and out comes an armor-clad squad who resume fire on the tanks. We get this great shot of Kadan protecting Goku by blocking a blast with his bracelet, very Wonder Woman style. And then after that, to add even more comic book references, Pansy jumps onto her father's shoulder and the two start taking out nearby soldiers in a circular fashion, very similar to Rocket and Groot. I loved it. I loved it. This is a bit of a reach. I'm just going to point this out. This little parallel takedown that he uses with the power pole, after I was already in comic book mode, to me, this looked like Shang-Chi. It doesn't mean anything. I just had to throw that in the video. Goma is absolutely losing it, watching all of this unfold as Degesu reminds him that he still has his Gendarmerie Force. You know, the Ginyu Force knockoff. While Goma is comforted by this fact, we then get a very interesting close-up shot of Degesu looking very strangely at Goma. Now, when I saw this at first, my gut instinct told me perhaps Degesu is planning on maybe using the third eye himself to usurp the throne from Goma, but we'll have to wait and see. After all the commotion is over, Goku thanks Kadan and the two begin laughing and sharing compliments as the camera pans upward towards the castle, which is now within sight. And the episode ends. So overall, the entire episode really takes place in one setting, which is just the battlefield, but it's right in front of the castle. And it is very aware that everyone is ready to take the next step in their plans. So with 5 episodes left, actually 4 now, 4 episodes left, we are going to see some of those plans start to come into fruition. We are going to see Arinsu and the Glorio double cross. We're going to see somebody using the third eye, whether it's Degesu or Goma, something is going to happen. The Gendarmerie Force is about to step in and confront the heroes. I'm a little surprised. I will say one thing from this episode that maybe is kind of a nitpick. I was a little bummed out that we saw 0 Super Saiyan action from Vegeta, let alone Super Saiyan 3. After seeing what sort of power and awesomeness Vegeta is able to exude with that form, I was honestly expecting him to do that again after he got the revive bug, but he stayed in his base form and he was still able to kick ass, but I kind of thought that there would be more. Goku going Super Saiyan at the end was nice, you know, finally, but even him, he could have gone Super Saiyan 2, they could have gone Super Saiyan 3 together. I don't know. That was maybe my one little nitpick. Otherwise, the rest of the episode was great. I love the moments with Kadan and Pansy. That was very heartwarming. It was great to see Kadan in action. He wasn't just a throwaway character to be introduced to progress the story. He actually did something meaningful. His army was pretty cool. Each character had a very unique design. There was like this barbarian woman with, she actually kind of gave me Wonder Woman vibes as well. She was using a sword, and we saw various other troops in the Kadan squadron. I don't know what it's called. It was a great episode overall. I'm very much looking forward to the next episode because we see in the previews, the next episode is going to be our heroes versus the Gendarmerie Force. Given how much trouble they were having with these stun guns that these weapons and tanks and planes were having, are they going to be struggling even more against the Gendarmerie Force? Because they are the elite force of King Goma. So probably, yeah. But I mean, if they go Super Saiyan 3, I would imagine probably not. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but I love the episode. I'm going to give this episode an A-. This is an A-. The only reason I'm taking off points is because no Vegeta Super Saiyan. That's it. So it's my little biased criticism. Otherwise, fantastic episode. Episode 16 is dropping next week. We are 4 episodes away from the conclusion of Dragon Ball Daima. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that I missed from the episode. Let me know if there's any possible comic book, movie reference or TV show reference or anything that I might not have potentially picked up on. I picked up on 3, which is maybe a little much, but let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned and always remember to Daima responsibly.